Hello, Hugh from Politically Challenged. It's day 2 of this mini blog that we're starting. Of course, today we're going to talk about why the world has gone topsy-turvy, upside down. We've got all of these recent attacks that happened in Christchurch, in the Netherlands, and other places, including Nigeria, all the terrorism, the mass shootings, the explosions. Essentially, I feel as if we focus too much on the use of weapons and which sort of ethnicity or which sort of ideology do these people belong to. If it's a terrorist group, you wait for people to claim the attack, like ISIS or Boko Haram. If it's someone of one ethnicity, you think one thing. If it's someone of another ethnicity, you think another. For example, if it's a white person, sometimes they go and say, oh, he was mentally ill, he was a lone wolf. But if it's somebody that isn't white, especially if they fit a certain aesthetic stereotype, you'd automatically think to yourself, especially since the media pans us the same messages, you'd think to yourself, okay, when's ISIS going to claim this? When's this gang or group going to claim this? Depending on what the situation is. Like with this Christchurch shooter, I haven't read the manifesto, but I've heard about it. Basically, this guy was a white dude, so what they did was they called him mentally ill, they called him a lone wolf, and to profile this man and to talk about his life, they used his baby photo. They put a photo of him now, as he is now, and then they put it right next to a picture of his dad holding him when he was a little baby. Now, they wouldn't do this if it was a black man. Let's not lie to ourselves. They wouldn't do this if it was an Arab bloke or an Asian bloke or a Muslim bloke. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. They'd show you the mugshot. Let's not lie. Even with Mark Duggan, who was shot down by police in 2011, he had a photo plastered all over the media. They plastered a photo of him all over the media. Yeah? It was him with a resting bitch face, okay? I swore I have to deal with it. He had a resting bitch face. He was upset. They only showed the top half of the video. Like, you can only see part of my body. I could be butt naked under here. You don't know. I'm fully clothed, I'm sorry. But with Mark Duggan, they only showed the top half of his frame. They cut out the bottom half of the picture. The bottom half of the picture showed him holding his dead daughter's gravestone. This was a young girl, his own daughter, who died way before her time. He was holding a heart-shaped gravestone with her name on it. They didn't show that part. They just showed the top half where he looked menacing and thuggish. He had a resting bee face because his daughter died. He outlived his own daughter and he had to carry that heart-shaped gravestone. You'd be pissed too if you lost your child. You'd be pissed too. You'd look all menacing and upset too, no matter what you look like. But this was a man who got killed by police. Now, to my knowledge, I don't know all the details. This was so long ago. This is an impromptu video, for goodness sake. But regardless of whether you think he deserved it or not, I don't think he did, personally. But regardless of what you think, the media played him. They played into this stereotypical narrative. A black man got shot by police. Oh, let's show the most questionable, out of context, menacing photo we could possibly use and plaster it all over the news so that people could subconsciously think that he deserved to die. That maybe he was the type of person with that facial expression, that look. Maybe he was that type of person to deserve what he got. He wasn't. There are people, white, black, and otherwise, getting hurt or getting harmed or shot or abused by people of authority. That happens all the time. Most people who carry a place of authority, including police officers, most of them are stand-up people. It's the bad eggs that make the rest of them get a bad name. It's the bad eggs. It's like most people within most groups are decent people, but if you focus on the worst of the worst, it's easy to use the worst of the worst and paint everybody with the same brush. What the hell was I talking about? So basically, with these terrorist attacks, particularly if we focus on the Christchurch situation, this was a bloke that, according to some sources, was an eco-fascist. He liked communist Russia, etc., etc. He was a white nationalist, racist, whatever. He didn't like Muslims. He didn't like people who weren't European or white. Okay, fine. Lots of people like that around in the world. Fine. This guy, supposedly, according to the manifesto that people talk so much about, he wanted there to be action in the West towards gun control and restrictive gun control, making gun laws tougher, making it harder for people to have access to guns. Law-abiding citizens, making law-abiding citizens face a tougher time when wanting access to guns or wanting to buy guns. Here's the thing about these gun laws. Here's the fatal flaw. Forget the Second Amendment argument, whatever, if you're an American. Here's the fatal flaw. Criminals don't give a damn about the law. That's what makes them criminals. If I'm out here and somebody shoots me, I ain't gonna do nothing. What can I do? I don't know no karate. If somebody shoots me, I'm dead. I'm finished. I'm gone. If somebody shoots me in the right place, if somebody shoots me right here, I'm finished. Hashtag Hugh everyone. No one's gonna hashtag my full name. I got like how many goddamn syllables in my name? I'm not necessarily saying I'm pro-gun. I'm not. But I'm not necessarily anti-gun either, because I understand the need for some people to want to protect themselves. And if you live in certain places in the world, you're going to need something to protect yourself. Especially if you don't look like frickin' The Rock or Terry Crews, for goodness sake. And even then, muscles ain't enough. You can't beat a bullet with muscle. So yeah, some people are packing. That's fine. I don't discriminate. I don't judge that. I get it. And especially in certain places like America, where it's part of the freaking Constitution for you to have the right to bear arms. Okay, fine. It's ingrained in the culture. It's ingrained in the law. Fine. I can't go against that. But some people, especially people, some of the liberals, some of the lefties, left-wingers, they're going to say, no, we have to get rid of guns. Okay, fine. You see all these mass shooters. You see all these mass shooters in the schools, Planned Parenthood, the movie theaters, the places of worship, the hospitals. Okay, fine. Take away all the guns. First of all, in America, the majority of the gun crimes are suicides. What, 2/3? Suicides. Yeah? What are we going to do about that? The fact that, according to Ben Shapiro, most of these crimes in America, they happen from what? Hand rifles as opposed to handguns as opposed to assault rifles. But they only want to get rid of assault rifles. Why not the handguns too? Okay, why not the handguns? If they're the ones being used to commit most of the crimes, most of the gun crimes. Why not? If we get rid of all the guns, all the rifles, all the handguns, it won't get rid of the whole problem. You might put a band-aid on it. You might mask the problem. Okay, there's no guns. People aren't going to want to kill each other anymore. Incorrect. Of course they will. Because there are underlying issues. You got to look at the socioeconomic factors. You got to look at the parenting structure. You got to look at the family structure, the environment, the schooling, the what sort of relationships did they have with their parents, with their friends? Did they have any lovers? What happened? Something must have made these people snap to think, okay, the best thing I can do in my life is to plan some sort of ethnic genocide or some sort of mass shooting or some sort of racially motivated or religiously motivated attack against certain people. I mean, come on. It's not just easy to think, okay, he had a gun. He had a gun, he took somebody's gun, or he bought a gun. It's so easy to buy guns. That's why it's so easy to create a mass shooting. No, it isn't. You have to have a specific mindset. 99.9% of people are not going to think, you know what? I got a gun. I'm pissed off today. I'm going to shoot some people. That's not how it works. You have to have this specific mindset. Something would have had to happen to you. I don't believe in this notion that you're just born like a murderer or born crazy, whatever. I could be wrong, but whatever. Something would have had to happen to you. Yes, there may be a predisposition when it comes to certain things, but something would have had to happen to you for you to become this murderer, this psycho or sociopath that be out here killing people. Wherever, and then you have to factor in, okay, what if it's racism? What if it's homophobia? What if it's like Charleston? What if somebody wants to go into a black church and kill people because they're black? What if somebody wants to go into a mosque and kill people because they're Muslim? What if somebody wants to go into a gay club and kill people because they're gay? What triggered these phobias? What triggered these discriminatory tendencies? Those are the things we need to look at a lot more than if they're packing or not, if they've got guns or not. Yeah, obviously we need to make sure that these people need, these people can't ever buy a freaking gun. But how do you measure that? How do you find that out? People can lie on tests. There's this thing called social desirability bias. If people took a survey, if people took some sort of test, they can lie on the test unless they have some sort of polygraph. But people who are trained can fake the results. And the thing about sociopaths is, now this isn't a fact, this is opinion. If somebody doesn't think normally, if somebody's like some sort of sociopath, surely the polygraph test would be different from that of a normal person. Because sociopaths, they don't care. They don't give a damn about social norms. They don't give a damn about lying. They can just lie. Some of these people are pathological liars. You really think their heart's going to skip a beat if they lie? Come on. Come on. It's not the same for everybody. So polygraph tests, without even looking into any studies, I just feel as if they're flawed anyway. People can fake that stuff. You have to look at the underlying issues when it comes to why there's so many terrorist attacks. And I've cited this in a previous politically challenged video where I make a long rant about terrorism and the fact that a lot of these mass shooters and terrorists, no matter what color they are, no matter what religious background, a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them seem to be 20-something-year-old, 30-something-year-old millennial men. It's supposed to be the best time in the world to exist, but these people are suffering. Why are these young men who could be out there in serious relationships, they could be out there full-time jobs or starting businesses, they could be out there in the military, they could be out there doing something productive and healthy, instead they're plotting to kill other people. Something happened to them. What's their struggle? What's their struggle? What are the emotional, physical, or mental, or socio-economic triggers that made them into what they are? Was it poverty? Was it some sort of mental break? Was it heartache? Who knows, man? Who knows? Was it some sort of, I don't know, them getting beat up a lot as a child? These are just guesses. These are just many different options and factors that could come into play. We all want to blame iPhones and video games and the fact that there are guns in like almost every action movie. But it's more than that. You have to look within the person, within the individual, to figure out why they would commit such heinous crimes. And since I've made the same point 5 billion times, I think you get the message. I will have to see you tomorrow. What was I going to do, a salute? No, I'm just going to scratch my head. Goodbye.